You are just one course away. Don't we all agree that all students are created equally, yet differently? Every individual has their own way of processing information and retaining knowledge. That's why it's important to learn more about the learning styles, and that's what we are going to talk about in this video. If you're new to this channel, welcome and make sure that you subscribe and like. Let's start. Student learning styles fall into three different categories: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. These learning styles are found within the educational theorist Neil Fleming's VARK model of learning. And VARK is an acronym that refers to the four different styles: visual, auditory, reading and writing, and kinesthetic. You might have heard of the VARK model as VAC when you eliminate the reading and writing, so visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, or VACOG, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, O for olfactory, and G for gustatory. Now, irrespective, we have to agree that each student has a different combination of learning styles. And catering to all these different learning styles, that will definitely enhance learning. The VARK model, it acknowledges that students have different approaches to how they retain information. And that's what we refer to as preferred learning modes. Students' preferred learning modes, it has a big and significant influence on how students behave and how they learn. And at the same time, the students' preferred learning, it has to be matched with the learning strategies. When information is accessed through the preferred student's modality or learning preference, what happens is they will have an increased comprehension, motivation, and even metacognition. When we say learning styles, that definitely means that students learn differently. Technically, an individual's learning style refers to the preferential way in which the student absorbs, processes, comprehends, and retains information. For example, when you are learning how to build a clock, some students, they prefer to have the verbal instructions, while other students, they prefer to physically manipulate the clock themselves. Everyone is different. Therefore, it's really important for online course creators to understand that there are different learning styles. And therefore, as an online course creator, you have to use the best practice in your curriculum and in your assessments. So let's start with the VARK or the VAC model, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the reading and writing. Visual learners, if you look at a visual person, look at their eyes. These people look up to the right or left, or their eyes may appear unfocused. Their gestures are quick and angular and include pointing. Their breathing is high, shallow, and quick. And they speak fast. And do you have any idea what are the words that capture their attention? They normally say see, look, imagine, reveal, and perspective. So how do they prefer to learn? If you were about to present something to visual learners, these people prefer pictures, diagrams, and movies. So visual learners prefer the use of images, maps, and graphic organizers to access and to understand new information. Auditory learners, if we start with their eyes, these people look down to the left and may appear shifty-eyed. Their gestures are balanced and they touch one's face, and basically, for example, they rub their chin. Their breathing is mid-chest and rhythmic, and hence they speak rhythmically. For example, again, again, again. Yes, yes, yes. But what are the words that capture their attention? Listen, hear, tell, clicks, ask, in tune. And therefore, when presenting, they prefer lists, they prefer summaries, quotes, and they prefer to read. In other words, auditory learners, they best understand new content when they listen and speak in situations like lectures or group discussions. And their best study technique, that would be repetition. Now let's talk about the kinesthetic or the feeling learners. Let's start with their eyes. These people, they look down to the right. Their gestures are rhythmic and they touch their chest, especially for men. They breathe slowly with pauses, and even when they speak slowly. And words that capture their attention, these would be touch, feel, grasp, catch on, and contact. And when presenting, if we're presenting towards something, they love achieve, attain, gain. And even if we're presenting away from something, they would use avoid, relieve, and out. So kinesthetic learners, those students, they best understand information through tactile representations of information. So they are hands-on learners, and they best learn when they figure things out by hand. To finalize, we still have the R, VARC model, so that's reading and writing. Students with a strong reading-writing preference, they learn best using words. So these students, they present themselves as copious note takers, and they are able to translate abstract concepts into words and essays. You can easily connect with your audience, and now that you know the different learning styles, you can start creating your online course. You are just one course away. If you want to know more, you can join our next live free webinar. Click on the links in the description, and also you will find different free resources when you visit our website. I remind you, you are just one course away. See you in the next video.